Hi T-Sippers, and if you're new to this channel, welcome to YouTube. Operation Dudula, the way I've been avoiding this topic, but then I quickly thought to myself, hang on, this is not just a topic on social media, this is real and about people's lives, and especially black lives. And as you know, on my channel I cover social, racial issues, and just anything that just affects us as human beings. So Operation Dudula, patriotism or xenophobia, which one is it? Okay, and I don't want to, I already have the answer, but I just want you as a South African that supports this movement to really understand what is really going on, right? Okay, so there is a lady, Zandile Dudula, a black South African woman by what we know, who, I don't know whether she founded this on herself or what, but she just seems like one of the big bosses that are running this operation. So this is an organization. Some say it's a political party, I don't know. But then it's an organization that is about so-called prioritizing South Africans and eliminating illegal African foreigners, because the only foreigners that I see is African foreigners being eliminated and stuff. So basically, it's about going to public clinics, and if you can't prove the fact that you are a Zimbabwean that is legally here, has papers, or a Nigerian or a Ghanaian, just if you're just an African who's not a South African, then they just like remove you. Whether you have a headache or you're just about to die, like they just like remove you. Yeah. So I also saw, I only knew of like the hospital and healthcare one, but then I also saw like school videos. They also remove undocumented foreigners in schools. They're saying that, put South Africans first and stuff. So the put South Africans first thing, I'm not against South Africans feeling like they need to be put first in their country. It should be like that. But then let's really get into this Operation Dudula and what's really going on. What does this mean? What's right? What's wrong? So at the end of this video, I just want you guys to really tell me if I have educated you enough about this, and if you've changed your mind as a South African that supports this. I just realized that these Dudula operations, South Africans are literally dressed in military uniforms, and I can't help but think of the symbolism, the symbolism of war and ruthlessness, right? That's what we associate the military uniform with. Some will associate it with protection, but the military for most of the times have been a symbol of war and attacks rather than protection. So the symbolism, like the uniform that they wear, is even just quite disturbing on its own, right? Okay, so a lot of black South Africans are complaining, the black foreigners are coming here without papers. They're taking our jobs. They're taking spaces up in hospital. They're taking spaces in schools. But then let's actually get to the statistics, the numbers. What does reality actually say? Besides, let's move away from what we think is right. Let's just go to like the numbers, okay? What's actually going on in South Africa? Okay, so we have, in terms of like the immigrant population, we have 2.4 million, which is an estimate, of foreign nationals that are living in South Africa, African foreign nationals, and as we can see, it's mainly countries like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Lesotho, and maybe West Africa, but it just seems like it's the Africans from the southern part of Africa, which makes sense. Our borders are next to each other, so yeah, this makes perfect sense. So the population of South Africa, the number of South Africans living in South Africa is like 63 million, approximately 63 million. And as we know, those figures cannot be 100%, but they are close to the reality, because we do have The government does actually have programs where people are counted door to door. And yes, figures can never be 100%, but then figures can be 95%, figures can be 90%. So what we're not going to do is now act as if figures are just pulled out of somebody's private parts. The government does have initiatives to actually count people, keep track of who's here, who's not here. Okay, so let's get right into it. With regards to the number of South Africans living in South Africa, guys, you are welcome to go on government sites and verify for yourself. Okay, basically, guys, Black foreigners or like foreign nationals in South Africa are a small minority. When you have 63 million South Africans and you've got 2.4 million and you've got 2 million foreigners, they are the minority, which means they are less than us, the majority. So now, the minority is being blamed for the fact that we can't go to government hospitals because now there are lots of foreigners there. We can't get spaces in school. So now it's not making sense, numbers-wise. And it's not making sense history-wise. South Africa went through colonization and apartheid, which is actually the only reason why Black people are suffering. Besides the post-apartheid of having a Black government that is not really doing much for us, but the main causes of Black people suffering in South Africa is apartheid and colonization. Okay, news flash. It's not the poor Black people that are coming here and working in salons and working as construction workers, working as nannies, because most, especially the female foreigners, they are working as nannies, you guys. They don't get paid much. They actually live way worse than us. They are crammed in small apartments. So, dear Black South Africans, my lovely Black South Africans, please look at this picture, Just take 1 minute and just sit down with yourself and look at it. And tell me how we've forgotten that colonization is the main root of our suffering. Tell me how we've forgotten that apartheid is the main root of our suffering. Tell me why we've forgotten that it's the systematic racism. The system is designed to put us at the bottom as Black people. Have we forgotten our true suffering? So, as Black people, because of the fact that we don't have access to attack rich white people, rich Indian people, who also were the main beneficiaries of apartheid and stuff, we choose to attack each other as Black people. It's easy to attack the poor Black person instead of the capital owners, right? The ones that own big houses, the ones that own the farmlands that were stolen from our ancestors, right? It's easier. So Operation Dudula is absolute rubbish. And this is why, as I've explained to you, the main suffering of Black South Africans is, the main cause of our suffering is colonization and apartheid. South Africans claim to want secure borders, but the government that's supposed to secure those borders never did. And the ANC has always been the majority voted party. And it's like, okay, we're okay with voting for a government that doesn't care about secure borders, but we're fine with Black Africans dying. We're fine with pushing pregnant women outside of clinics. Is that not the government that we voted for? Is that not the government that we keep voting for? We refuse to give other political parties chances most of the time. And I know that this is not every Black South African, this is not every South African, but then it is quite prevalent, right? It's like, it just seems like sometimes I just feel like we're just like kids that are forever complaining but not really doing anything. I mean, we vote for these people, we put them in power, and the EFF has been criticized and, brutalized. People say the craziest things about President Julius Malema for simply. So as I was saying, people have really, criticized Julius Malema in the most horrible way. Even like dehumanized us who support what he's saying, that, guys, before colonization, before the whites came to kill us, there was no such thing as borders and countries. Actually, Africa was defined by regions: Southern Africa, Eastern Africa, Western Africa. It's only something that I knew when I was like older, because they don't teach this in school. So the whole country border thing was division, even in the first place. So this is still us Africans pushing each other out of healthcare, leaving people to die, leaving innocent babies to die. It's still the colonizers' plan working. This is still the white man's plan working. And if I have any white people tuned in, please click off this video if you're sensitive. I know that some of you were not born during this time, but we're talking about your grandpas and great grandmothers, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So, yeah, I just think that, but then another thing, poverty also, like, you can't think straight when you're poor. So a part of it, I'm like, a lot of Black South Africans are poor. So I just feel like, yes, it's anti-Blackness, it's xenophobia, but I also feel like these people are also like victims in a way. Like poverty, you just can't think, you can't really think straight, right, when you don't know what you're gonna eat. So, it's just like, there are so many layers, and I know that I might be missing, and I know that there are layers that maybe I can't cover in this video. But then, guys, you're welcome. We are welcome to have a polite discussion. If you're not polite, I'll block you. So, back to this queen of xenophobia, Zandile. Guys, your anger is very, very misdirected. Your anger is very misdirected. 5% of the population is now responsible for bad health care. South African public health care has always been bad, my dear. Those us poor blacks who've been to government hospitals, where there was no Nigerian, there was no Ghanaian, there was no Zimbabwean, have a lot of complaints against the public healthcare system. So it really pisses me off when black people are racist towards each other, are xenophobic, are hide behind. We are fighting. No, baby. You're not fighting anything. You're just xenophobic and anti-black, because we do have illegal white immigrants. We do have illegal immigrants that are from America, even if they are not white, that are hiding in Cape Town. But then, hey, who's gonna confront people who are richer? But then, hey, why would you confront someone richer than you? It's easier to confront the poor black people. Immigrants are not taking any good jobs away. In fact, immigrants are being hired for the bad jobs that don't pay much. So, Black South Africans, are you fighting to work in salons? Are you fighting to be nannies? Are those the types of jobs that you guys are fighting for? Because those are the types of jobs that poor black immigrants are getting. So maybe it's just me, but I don't want to be an underpaid nanny. But maybe you guys want to be that, so maybe that's why you guys hate Zimbabweans so much, why you guys hate West Africans. But for me, I can't hate them because I don't want that life for myself.
I know that it's unlawful for us to be asking for documents. We don't have the right to do it, but because you as a law enforcer, you are there to just monitor the situation. Why don't you just do it? Because that's also part of your job.
But you are admitting that it is unlawful.
Yes, it is unlawful because we are not officials. We are not immigration officers.
For many months, I've been saying that Zandile.
So here we have it, my lovely xenophobic South Africans who are going to hide behind the nobody's putting us first, this lady's changing our country. This lady admitted on national TV that she's committing a crime. She's not authorized to question and bully people and harass people and push people out. of hospital lines because they are, push pregnant women, leave them to die. She admitted and she should be in jail. The EFF was right. President Julius Malema was right. This girl needs to be in jail with the keys thrown. This girl has got the blood of innocent black babies in her hands. And before you say, what about our South African babies? Well, you guys are voting for government that is not securing borders, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, for those that maybe were feeling a bit confused, like, okay, is Operation Dudula something that I should be supporting? Is it okay? I hope you have an answer because of my video. This is not right. This is pure xenophobia. This is misdirected anger. This is what happens when you have a frustrated country that doesn't know how to direct their anger, right? So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're polite, you're welcome to tell me what you think about this analysis. If you're not polite, I'll block you. If you're not a polite person who can't speak without insulting the other person, please unsubscribe to my channel. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. Bye.